Once again, Matt Quinn from Mount Joy, everybody. Wow.
Thank you.
You know, and I'm glad that you started off with that song because that was related to one of my trivia questions. You must have heard me like back in the green room. You're like,
I read your mind.
You read my mind. Thanks for that. You know, and it's funny because Astrovan works so well in that song. I'm thinking of like, you know, current days Deadpool and Wolverine where they have the Honda Odyssey. Have you seen that? Have you seen the movie? You haven't seen the movie? So the Honda Odyssey makes like a pretty big appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine, just so you guys know. No spoilers or anything, but anyways, hey, thank you so much for coming and playing for us. We appreciate it. You're at Pioneer Courthouse Square tonight. You're in Bend a few days from now at Hayden Homes Amphitheater. And you know, you're back in Portland. You're doing this. I had the chance to talk with Jackie actually a few years ago. And she had moved from Portland down to LA a few years prior to that. And then you guys were here not long after that to do Rearrange Us. That's where you recorded right here in town, summer of 2019.
That's right, yeah. We Tucker Martine, who is an incredible producer, we had the chance to come up here and work with him, spent like most of a summer here, and yeah, made our second record here. It was a great experience.
Why the decision to come up here from, you know, you could have stayed in Los Angeles, but it was Portland. Did Jackie have like a say in that decision, or was it kind of like a overall band choice to come here to Portland to do that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think, honestly at the time, it probably played somewhat of a role just because we were definitely on a budget, so like one of us not needing a hotel was probably like
nice.
some huge part of it, but
sure.
No, mostly we were just, yeah, and still are. Just we were enamored with the stuff that Tucker had made, and his work with My Morning Jacket and
for sure
Decemberist, and so much amazing. He's made so many amazing records, and we played a show here. Oh man, I want to say like Wonderland Ballroom or some Crystal Ballroom.
Crystal Ballroom,
Crystal
yeah,
Ballroom,
for
maybe.
sure.
Sorry, making it up as I go along.
No,
Wonderland
no worries.
sounds like a nice place though, but
yeah.
probably doesn't exist. Yeah, and Tucker came out and we just got along, and yeah, I think that was a big part of it.
Nice. The album itself, it was interesting too because at the time that you guys were doing Rearrange Us, there was kind of a lot going on. You know, there were some darker themes involved with the album. There was some relationship drama, and then of course, you know, the pandemic happened right as you guys released it. I mean, how did that sort of dynamic go? Like, did it change the dynamic within the band during all of that, or were you guys able to just sort of soldier on and do your thing? Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, a couple things there. One, sort of, it was a moment in our career where we had put out the first album and just like toured a bunch. Jackie had joined the band, made us a much better band, and we were having some success. But I guess early on, and I assume it's still this way, but early on it was just like what that meant was we just played everywhere all the time.
Sure.
We were in a van 300 some days of the year. It was pretty intense, and so all of our significant other, you know, we had lives before this, so it was like that record represented the moment where like pretty much everyone had gotten broken up with. Like it had been like,
wow.
You're gonna do that.
Yeah.
See you later.
Wow.
So there was this sort of, that was sort of everyone's breakup record was that one, and then which was the Rearrange Us idea was
sure.
just like, you know, this whole thing had sort of rearranged our lives. So, and then sorry, my mind can only hold one thought at a time.
That's all right, because, well, I'm glad that you left off there because I was going to say, moving ahead, there's a happier story now because this was all 5 years ago. Now we have a song like Highway Queen, which
sure.
I know is one of the most personal songs that you guys have done, and that, I understand, that's like a good relationship song right there. That's like a positive tune.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, fast forward through whatever happened in 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
Just skip that, and yeah, I Highway Queen. In the last couple years, I got married, and yeah, basically my now wife is from Brazil, had traveled kind of all over the world, and I, you know, at some point when I was coming off a tour, I guess like last year, I had realized that like a lot of the things that she goes through as a person that travels all the time,
sure.
you know, that we kind of shared these similar things of, you know, when you travel as much as we have over the last however many years, it kind of becomes this thing. Like, I think humans are just incredible at adapting, but
right.
once you get into a routine, it's like that's who you are.
Sure.
And when you try to just be home and be a normal person, it doesn't really work. So you just kind of got to keep moving, and you're always kind of on the run, and that's what feels right.
Right.
And so yeah, it's sort of about seeing that in someone else, and yeah, obviously, yeah.
speaking of moving, you guys have been traveling all over, playing all sorts of different live shows out on your tour. I was looking at your dates, and one stuck out to me, Palmer, Alaska.
Yeah.
That's just a few days from now. Have you guys been up there before?
I've never been to Alaska. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think any of us have. We play there in a few days.
Yeah, it's like some Alaskan country fair or something.
Yeah, I think
going
we're playing
on there.
the Alaska State Fair.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So for a band, I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, seriously. So for you guys have never been there before. Like, what? Going to Alaska, is there anything sort of on your bucket list to do up there, or have you even given that some thought? It's only a couple days from now, so no pressure.
Honestly, when we originally got the offer, I don't know, this is probably too much information, but here's this for the radio. But I think when we initially got the offer, we turned it down in large part because we really wanted to do it, but I just felt like, the way tour is, it's like you don't really get to do anything. It's like my one time I go to Alaska, I want it to be at the end of the tour or something where I can go try to wrangle a grizzly bear somewhere or something like that. But then we kind of gave it some more thought, I think, and just decided it was a great opportunity. But that to say, it's really like wedged into a tour. So
I was going to say, you go up there and then you come back down, which is interesting.
We play Seattle like 2 days later.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
That's a lot. That's a lot of travel time.
And we just have canoes, so it's going to take us the full 2 days.
I can imagine Mount Joy and canoes. You know, that's working. That's a vibe. I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys actually, you also shared the stage with Noah Kahan at Fenway Park, like about a month ago, almost exactly now. I mean, 2 nights in Boston with Noah Kahan on stage. And Noah Kahan's the kind of musician where anytime he does something with someone else on stage, I'm like, that guy's collaborated with a bunch of different people. I mean, was there ever any chit chat with him? Like, hey, we should get together. We should do something.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, we've known Noah for a long time. He, maybe right before, I don't know. Sorry, Noah, if I get this wrong, but maybe right before 6 months before or so, Stick Season. He came down. Sam and I, Sam plays guitar in Mount Joy, had a barn that we had rented out during COVID times, and it was just a good place to play music. And he came down and we, hung out, played music together. He played some of the songs that ended up being on Stick Season at that time. We worked on music together, so we've had a good relationship for a long time. And maybe someday there'll be a song. Wow.
So you're saying Noah Kahan was sort of like demoing songs for you guys before he put them out. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, we're responsible for all of it, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, all right. There we go. Thank you very much for that, Matt.
That's what you're looking for.
There
that's
you go.
What happens.
Without Mount Joy, there would be no Noah Kahan. You guys can...
Sorry, Noah.
Hey, once again, we appreciate you being here. Just on the subject of live shows, you guys have a live album that you just put out, live at the Salt Shed, this is a venue in Chicago. Am I right? Or
in
that area?
Yeah.
Anytime a band does a live album, this is interesting to me because how do you go about figuring out which venue you want to actually do a live recording at, and then decide to release out to the general public, if you will?
It's a good question. I think part of it is the quality of the performance. We record most every show.
Nice.
And that was just a unique thing. We'd never done 4 nights somewhere before. It was a real challenge for us to try to, we're not Fish. It's not going to be a different song every time, but yeah, we do challenge ourselves to make 4 different nights, and it went really, really well. And Chicago's been a great, sort of home for us. So
excellent. Well, we hope that Portland is also a good home for you guys as well.
Yeah.
You're playing tonight at Pioneer Courthouse Square. Also, a few days from now, over in Bend at Hayden Homes Amphitheater. Once again, thank you so much for coming, Mount Joy.
Thank you, guys.
And Matt Quinn from the band. Everybody, thank you so much.
All right.